President elect Donald Trump has spent the week filling his cabinet. Among the nominees are two men with Florida ties, Senator Marco Rubio and former Congressman Matt Gaetz.
Other roles are being filled by former Democratic Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard and anti-vaccine advocate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Fox News host Pete Hegseth. While some of the Trump cabinet picks are causing controversy, it's not slowing down his momentum.
Let's talk about that with Facing South Florida host Jim DeFede. And Jim, Trump is wasting no time doing this and shaking things up.
Shock and awe. That's the way, that's the approach that apparently the campaign has decided to take. Shock and awe. Just when you announce one controversial pick before the really Democrats can rev up their attack on it, he announces another controversial pick. So you go from Matt Gaetz to RFK and on down the line. Now, while some people and Democrats are outraged, other Democrats I spoke to recently say they shouldn't be all that shocked. This is exactly what Trump promised. Here is part of an interview I did for this Sunday with Democratic Congressman Jared Moskowitz.
Donald Trump is appointing people like a guy who knows he's not on the ballot again, doesn't care about any consequences. And so the pressure he's going to put on these Republicans is going to be immense. This is what he told everybody. If you watch his rallies and you listen to his videos, this is what he said he was going to do. Maybe people weren't here listening to him or didn't take him seriously, but nothing is a surprise at the moment. He telegraphed all of it. And so it is going to be interesting, tough, problematic.
All right, Jim, this seems like he's almost testing the Senate here to see just how far he can go. If he has the support of the entire Republican Party, these should get through, but some might go against him, right?
No, I think that's absolutely right. I think what you're looking at here is Donald Trump is trying to figure out where, if at all, there are any guardrails. You know, he has asked for the United States Senate to come into session and immediately go into recess, which would allow him to appoint whoever he wants and keep him in office for 2 years without any Senate confirmation process. Now, that seems unlikely right now because the Senate doesn't seem willing, at least even Republican leadership in the Senate doesn't want to neuter themselves, which is exactly what they would be doing because that's their role, is advising consent. But Donald Trump is going to test their loyalty. It's as one House Democrat or House Republican recently said, when Donald Trump says how high or says jump, we just simply say how high. And that's what's happening here. And for a lot of senators, they want to defer to Donald Trump. They want to say every president gets to pick his new choice, but he is challenging them on a lot of things that are problematic.
Well, part of the process is that they appear before the Senate and they're voted on by the Senate, right?
They're supposed to be. There's supposed to also be a background check done by the FBI. And there are moves now that are being talked about that Donald Trump is trying to avoid FBI background checks for some of his nominees. So it's going to be very interesting in the days and weeks ahead.
Okay, Jim, thank you. And you can catch Facing South Florida with Jim DeFede Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m.